Iran's terrifying new war plot is chillingly exposed after ruthlessly targeting strategic oil and military bases. Will Iran actively eye innocent American citizens in Gulf nations as its terrifying next target? The besieged Baghdad embassy frantically sounds a kidnapping alert for vulnerable Americans in Iraq. Trapped U.S. diplomats in Baghdad completely panic after Iran launches deadly drones and rockets. After American troops and bases, will a ruthless Mojtaba Khamenei directly gun for American diplomats? As U.S. assets face severe Iranian retaliation across the Middle East, Iraq is now emerging as a central area of strategic concern. The U.S. Embassy in Baghdad has issued a warning about possible attacks and kidnappings allegedly linked to Iran and aligned groups. The Baghdad Embassy urged American citizens to leave Iraq immediately in an official statement issued on March 10 amid security concerns. The Baghdad Embassy statement said Americans face a risk of kidnapping in the current security environment there. The U.S. Embassy also advised Americans to maintain a low profile and avoid gatherings that could increase their exposure to risk. The March 10 statement said U.S. nationals could face heightened danger if they are found congregating publicly in visible groups in Iraq. U.S. Embassy in Baghdad statement said, and I quote, "Iran and Iran-aligned terrorist militia groups continue to pose a significant threat to public safety. U.S. citizens are urged to remain vigilant, maintain a low profile, and stay away from areas that could make them a target. Congregating in areas associated with the United States or with groups of other U.S. citizens could put you at risk. There have been attacks against U.S. citizens and U.S. interests in Iraq, and Americans face risk of kidnapping. American businesses, hotels frequented by foreigners, and other facilities in Iraq, including those with U.S. ties, have been attacked. Critical infrastructure sites throughout Iraq have also been subject to attacks." Unquote. These allegations by the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad came after additional Iranian strikes were reported on Iraqi territory in recent days. Amid the war, a drone reportedly struck a U.S. diplomatic site near Baghdad airport on March 10, according to a Washington Post report published. Reports said 6 drones targeted the U.S. premises, with one of them making an impact near a guard tower within the compound area there. Reports said U.S. personnel were ordered to duck and cover as the drone strike unfolded near the Baghdad facility there overnight. The Washington Post said the Baghdad attack was suspected to have been carried out by the pro-Tehran Islamic resistance in Iraq. On March 7, reports emerged that rockets had been fired at the U.S. Embassy compound in Baghdad's secured zone that morning there. AFP reported that 4 rockets were launched at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad's high-security Green Zone district that night during unrest. Iran's missile and drone strikes across the wider Gulf region have reportedly resulted in the deaths of 8 American troops to date during hostilities. The U.S. personnel were killed in the aftermath of Iranian strikes that targeted positions in Kuwait and Saudi Arabia during escalation. Iran's elite IRGC forces have vowed to carry out more intense strikes against U.S. and Israeli assets ahead.